I don't need no introduction and shit.
What's up, everybody? 702 Exotic back at you with another live. And today we're going to be talking about none other than pest. We got a little bit of a pest topic today. A pesty topic today, right? And another thing we're going to be talking about is drying, right? Drying and curing. So we're going to be talking about two topics that I feel like they're very tough topics, man, because I feel a lot of people struggle with pests and a lot of people struggle with the drying and curing too. Those are experience level topics right there, you know. And I have experience with one, but I don't have experience too much of the other. But what I am going to show you and tell you about is the experience that I had with it, right? My experiences. I'm going to tell you my experiences with these things and how I prevented these things throughout the years, how I was able to get away with a lot of these things throughout the years and, you know, stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Make sure if you guys are tuning in, go ahead and... This is your man 702 Exotic. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to watch another video like this. That's right, baby. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to watch another video like this. That's right. What's going on, champ? How you doing? SynCal TV, let's go in the house. Say what's up to the homie. Say what's up to the homie. What's going on?
Young Dunn in the building acting bad tonight.
That's right. We just some
Young Dunn in the building acting bad tonight.
We just some young guns in the building acting bad tonight. But let's start this off right though. So that's what we talking about today is you know, I didn't have an infestation. It was nothing like that. It was more like something that I've never had. So I was like, oh damn, I got to get rid of this. It was just more like, and it sucked because I was on strike, so I couldn't really talk to y'all, get no help or nothing. And then my damn Instagram got deleted, so I don't have an Instagram. Do not have an Instagram. Well, actually, I do, but I don't even know. Let me see what I called it. Let me see what I called it real quick. The whole new Instagram is... I'm not even going to be active on there. That's probably just so I can just take a look at stuff, I guess. But yeah, man, I don't even have no follow. So it's 702 Exotic Genetics. That's what it is. 702 Exotic Genetics. On Instagram, if y'all care to follow, you know, I'm not really gonna be that active, like I'm saying, I'm really not gonna be that active, probably just so y'all can tap in with your boy or something, you know. If y'all can't tap in right here, we got the number right here, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to get away from Instagram a little bit, trying to get away from it. But yeah, so let's start this off real quick, man. Let's start this topic. Let's start this these experiences that I had with these shy little things that we call thrips, right? And how I dealt with them, what they did to me, how I caught them, how I noticed them, right? So first, let's start the identification process. Let's look at how we identified these thrips, right? How do they look like? So thrips look like this. If you guys don't know, if you guys are lucky enough not to know, that's what they look like. They're like translucent. The big ones, full-grown ones, have wings. They actually, I remember the first time I saw a little thrip take off. It was like I was looking at him. He was right there close, and I bet you it was his first time spreading his wings because he was like rubbing them, and then he sits there, and then next thing you know, boom, he takes off. And I'm like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, so those little thrips, they got wings and stuff like that. They got wings. They got I don't really know how the larva look. I can look it up, but yeah, I guess the larvas just look like that too, but no wings. So they develop wings at a full, maturity. So that's what thrips look like. Thrips are pretty much everywhere, man. They're everywhere outside. Now that I know what they look like, I see them outside everywhere. I'm always looking at them, everywhere. So where they came from, ain't no telling, man. Ain't no telling really where they came from. But those suckers are everywhere. So that's what they look like there. And then, so what did I try to do? As soon as I found out about them, I started freaking out. I'm like, yo, what am I going to do? And this and this and that. I'm like, oh, crap. So I wanted to go pretty much the organic way, right? I wanted to go the organic way, pretty much, do it all organic. So I started looking at research and stuff, what people do organically for thrips. And then I ended up going with what is it called? Nature's Choice or something like that. And that's the people who supply all the predatory mites and stuff like that. I might be messing up the name, but I just don't, they're on Amazon. They make you pay for shipping and all that. So I paid maybe about $50, $50. I ended up getting 50,000 cucumerises. Those are predatory mites. So 50,000 cucumerises is what I ended up getting. And yeah, with those cucumerises, did they do the job? I don't know, man, because we got some footage right here. We ended up taking some footage of the cucumerises, and we could check it out together, guys. Let's look at this footage we got right here of the cucumerises. I thought I was gonna see some National Geographic stuff. I'm like, oh, it's about to be super war in a second, right? It's gonna be super war in a second in there, right? And let's take a look. We got it right here. So these are recordings right here that we ended up taking with the cucumerises, right? And if you see, those little ones right there are the cucumerises. And the reason I just grabbed the leaf, right? And I grabbed the leaf that had a thrip on it. And we'll see the cucumerises, they're very tiny and they move fast. The thrips are pretty tiny too as well, right? They're small. But we're going to see what they're doing. I can't find the thrip right now, but it's in there. There he is right there. So he's on the left side in the middle right there. And he just walked underneath the leaf. Oh, he came back. So that's an actual thrip there. And then I sprinkled a bunch of cucumerises on there. Hopefully they'll like meet up so we can see what they do underneath but it's hard, man. I'm telling you, it's hard to get these. And I tried with a jewel, a jewel, and that was even harder. I mean, you can zoom in close, but you need like steady hands and crazy. So I just set it up like this on a paper plate. And you see him in the middle right there? That's actually a cucumeris going down, and he'll meet up with them in a second. I got a few videos too where they meet up. They meet up with each other. And you'll see what they do. Let me fast forward this just a little bit here. So we can see, you see them on the ground running around. Those are the cucumerises too as well. Let's fast forward this here so we can get a good sight of the thrip here. There it is. So the thrip is at the middle, at the bottom of the leaf right there. I don't know if I'm pointing it or you guys can see. All right, so let's go to the next video here. So that's the one I was just at there. All right, so we have another video here. The middle one right there is a cucumeris. It's not a thrip there. Let's see where the thrip is at in this video here. Again, it's pretty hard to film this stuff, just because the camera that I have, But see, there's a thrip right there. You see him right there in the center? Let me make my screen go down a little bit. That's him right there. See, they're right there, both of them. You see the cucumaras and the thrip. The thrip is in the center. He's more yellow. He's a little bit more yellow, so he'd be to the screen. Let me see. Probably like down there in the center, but way in there. You can see it. So that's the little thrip right there. He's walking up the leaf on the very far side. On that, down on that far side over there, the farthest leaf. He's a little yellow guy right there, and he's just chilling, probably hiding because there's like 20 cucumaras there. And I noticed that they're pretty smart because they see him coming, and they run. So I don't know if they fight or what they do, but see, they extend their leaves. They pooped or something. See, it's me sprinkling more cucumaras, and they're like, he's like, oh damn. So you can see the cucumaras is landing. I'm gonna make my screen a little bit smaller here. Let me see if I can make mine smaller. All right here. So we lost him. Let me take this down for a second, y'all. So he's down there at the bottom still. He's down there at the bottom. Let's see. Do we see any cucumaras in there? Let's see. All right, so he's walking up. He's like all dusted on. Excuse me. So he's dusted on. We don't see no cucumaras coming in here. Did he go to the bottom? I know there's some at the bottom. And I'm just sprinkling. This is before I actually even opened up the whole thing. So it's like 50,000 in word 50. So every sprinkle that you do, it just releases hell of them. And I released them all that day. All that day. That whole day I released them. But I tried to get us some good footages. There is some where you... I think that's where I threw him down. So I threw him down because I was like, you know what? Let's throw him on here. Let's throw him in the battlefield, right? And then I'm just fast forwarding a little bit until I find him. Because you guys probably see him, but I want to make sure that I find him. Okay, so he's right there. He's right there walking across the screen, in the middle of the screen right there, right? And watch how slick he is, yo. Watch how slick he is. Y'all hit that like button. Watch how slick he is real quick. He'll hide. He'll see some. Like there's one over there on the left side over here. I don't know if I got a cursor, but there's one over there, and all right, so he's at the bottom right here. And I'm trying to like twist the plate a little bit. Trying to twist the plate, but he's at the bottom. And I'm trying to make this into like a war, right? Trying to see what they do when they encounter each other. I should have poured like a bunch of them on there. But I wanted to see what was going on. I wanted to see what they do in their environment with the cucumaras. And he's just walking around, the little thrip. And he probably can't fly yet because he's walking around. So I remember when I caught him, none of them could fly yet. I remember when I started seeing the first ones that could fly, I swear I saw him spread his wings. Like, I'm looking at him, and he's just, like, stretching as far as he could. He's, like, rubbing his wings and doing all this here. And then, choom, he takes off. And it's, like, the first time I saw him take flight, I caught this stuff very, very early. Very, very early, but I started tripping out. I'm like, oh. So he's right there. Almost right there at the center of the screen. And he's just walking. Oh, look, he's going to encounter. See how he saw one and he dipped off to the left right there? Y'all caught that? Look, we're going to go back a little bit. Look, there's one right here. Oh, did we go too far? Go too far back? Okay, so there he is right there. He's right there at the top. Watch how he's running, right? He's trying to find new grounds or a hiding ground or something. And he sees a little one. He's scared of the little one. So he's walking. Almost runs into it. He's like, oh, shit. And he like dips off to the top. Turns around. I'm telling you, they know what's up. They know. They're surrounded. And he's underneath just looking for new grounds. He'll go up and then go back down. Now he's going up there. And he dead. Oh, he's gonna run into another one right there. See, but he, instead of going left, oh, he went right there. There's another one like right there. Now he went back. He's like, And you see, every time he sees one, he'll pick up the pace. He'll be like, yeah, I'm out of here. Let's go. I'm out of here. He sees leaves. He's like, let's go back to the leaves. Oh, he just skipped one too right there. He's like, I'm out of there. Let's go for cover. What up, everybody in the chat, man? Y'all salute. Salute y'all in the chat. Yes, sir. Salute to you too, homie. Yes, sir. We in here watching some National Geographic. Watching these thrips, man, get bullied by these cucumerises. So here we go. Let's see where he's at. Let's go forward a little bit. Where's he at? I can't see him. Is he right there? All right, let's go forward. Let's go forward. All right, nothing there. All right, let's go to the next video. Go to the next video. So we got a little cucumeris walking up here in the middle of the screen up there. Oh, and there's a thrip up there too. Look, they're about to meet. About to meet up. Look at the cucumeris is like, oh, I'm about to go get him. Oh, look, they're standing off at each other. They're looking at each other. It's a standoff. Look at the thrip is backing up like, homie, what's up? Pull up and see what's going on. Fuck around and find out. Let's see what's going on. And he's just, look, the cucumeris is just watching him. He's like, I'm watching you. Oh, he's going at them. And he stops again. Yo, they're having a, look, he moves. Oh, he's going for it. He's like, hey, he pump faked. Oh. Let's see.
Young Dunn in the building acting bad tonight.
Oh, the thrip. Oh no, the thrip scared him, man. The cucumeris needs backup or something. I don't know what happened. Where's the? I can't even see him no more. What happened to him? He's camouflaged. Did he run? I didn't see him run away. Where'd he go? I see some at the bottom, but I don't know if that's him though. Ooh, we almost got a full-blown National Geographic scrap right now. Look, the cucumber, look, I sprinkled some more. I'm like, hey, let's get him some backups. They
don't really give a fuck though. They'll run up in your spot hot looking for the blocks and tie your ass up with a jump rope.
Let's go get that.
They don't really give a fuck though. They'll run up in your spot hot looking for the blocks and tie your ass up with a jump rope.
Let's go get him. Nothing. My soldiers ain't there. I shot blanks. Oh, there's one at the top right there. Let's see what we got. Are we gonna get him? Boys? Are we gonna get him? Where'd he go? All right, I see the little thrip over there. He's still up there. He went underneath the leaf. You know, I used to think that they chilled up at the top of the leaves a lot. I mean, at the bottom, they chill at the top too. The thrips be chilling at the top. I find them at the top. See, like I sprinkle some more. Back up. Back up. We get any backup? No backup? Damn, we shooting duds. There's like 50,000 of them in there. There was a lot in there, though. I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot of them in there. We put them all in everywhere, all guard. Oh, damn. He went to the back. It's like he's getting bigger or something. Nah, we just probably got a better view. A better angle. A better angle, champ. We got any predatory mites? None? Oh, there's one right there. There's one right there. It's going.
Metro, bought me a paint from bezel. I went two-tone on my bezel, vodka rock that candle.
All right, it peeped him and it ran away. Hey, these thrips be scaring these little cucameruses, man. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be straight war with these things. And honestly, I really didn't see it. Oh, there's another one right there behind him. Look, he about to creep up on him. And he went around him. He went around him. And I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all, man. That's pretty much what I kept seeing. I kept seeing that. That's what I kept seeing. I kept seeing a lot of... It don't matter how many I sprinkled or whatever. I never got nothing. I was there for a while, too, watching these things. I'd put a different thrip in there. I'll put different cucameruses in there. I could not get one to bite each other. Look, here comes another one right there going up the stem. And that one's a little tiny one too. And nothing. I couldn't get him to do it. I thought I was gonna see something hella clean right now. I'll tell you what, the thrips are well aware of them. They're well aware of each other. That's for sure. They definitely see each other because and it's just, I don't know. I'm thinking that the cucameruses are just definitely just for their larvae, and that's it. They don't attack anything big or nothing like that. But those are the ones that are laying the eggs, you know what I mean? So you had to find something to get rid of those. You gotta get rid of the adults because they're the ones that are mating and doing stuff, flying around. Like you can have one coming over here, over there. They're going everywhere. And as you can see, I sprinkle more, man, and I just keep doing that. And it's the same thing over and over and over, really. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. It's really the same thing over and over. These
Calling it an outbreak, yet they aren't feeding like a plague should. They're converging, moving with purpose. The data keeps shouting what I didn't want to hear. They're not here to...
They're taking over. They're taking over. And that's the thing. We got to get these things under control. We got to get the adults under control, right? Because if we can't get the adults under control, then that's a problem right there. That's a real problem because they're gonna keep multiplying. They're gonna keep multiplying really quick. So you have to get rid of the adults. How do you get rid of the adults? Have you guys ever done ladybugs? I was thinking, I'm like, did I mess up? Was I supposed to get ladybugs too? Let me know in the comments if that's what ladybugs do. Do they eat the thrips? Because again, you know, I'm telling you my experiences and my things and how I got rid of them too. I don't have them anymore. And I'm going to tell you how I did it. And I'm just going down the line of what things that I did. So the cucameruses, I let them go there and they did their thing for about 24 hours, right? Because they was gone. Like as soon as I let them go, they was trying to, I don't know, they were leaving. I don't know if they didn't have enough food there or what was going on, but they was gone. and it was crazy because they would go around the pots. Like they would just have like this army going around the pots everywhere. So like everywhere I dropped them in, they would all want to go down. Maybe that's where the food was at, but they would go around the pots, you know, all around the pots. And then the next day they was gone. And I'm gonna get some ladybugs too though next. Just preventative, just to have some in there just for fun. Documented. I had a ladybug before in my garden. It was in there for a little while. We were like just giving it food through a little sponge and stuff like that. But I like to get little food for the ladybugs so they can actually like live there. That'd be cool, right? To have. The only thing, sometimes I remember I had ladybugs up in my old grows in the very, very beginning, and like I remember I'd get ladybug shells in the weed sometimes, you know, like sometimes like I'd be breaking weed up and it had like a ladybug in the middle of the weed and shit, you know. So that's something to look out for with ladybugs. Depending on like if you had a lot, you know, if you have like a couple here and there, it looks cool, you know what I mean? If you can sustain maybe 2-3 ladybugs and keep them alive, to keep as a preventative, right, is hella cool. I'm wondering if natural spiders too, like, because I noticed some spiders lurking around too, like 1 or 2, 3 little, they're tiny, they're not big spiders, it's like little spiders that just be chilling around my area, and I let them live, you know. I've noticed when I water, they'll like come down, get little water and shit, you know, and I'll talk to them, what's up, little man, how you doing, you taking care of garden, you know? All right, man, as long as you chilling here, you take care of me, I'll take care of you type shit, you know? But I wonder if those are like, you know, you would think that's what they eat, right? They eat like little stuff. They eat stuff. So, you know, I can imagine them going down there and like getting a little dinner coming up, right? That's another one too. But what I actually did, I ended up getting soap, right? And I have like commercial soap. It's like commercial grade soap, but it is still hand soap. It's like it's just commercial done. It just comes in a, and I ended up spraying the plants with that too. After like, I noticed the cucumberises was gone. So the cucumberises were gone, and I was like, man, I gotta do something, man. I gotta do something because I don't know, man. I don't feel like it. Oh, and I would go down there and they were still there. You know what I mean? So I'd always inspect my plants every single day. Remember, I was on strike for 30 days. That's why I couldn't really post or anything like that. But I would every day. It was like I would dream and think about this shit all day, every day. Like, fuck, I got bugs in my garden right now, you know? And it would just get to me because I've never had bugs in my garden. So, and then I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? So I ended up spraying. I did end up spraying with the soap, right? And I go back the next day, all my plants are like yellowing on the side, like they're burnt. So it burnt them, yo. It burnt them and shit. But I started noticing that still there was like some lingering thrips still around. Like they were still around. Like it's like for some reason, like I don't know why they were still around, but they were still around.
In the lab, these look shoes. They're thrips, but different. Look at the wings, metallic, every bite feeding pattern. Microscope says it all. They're feeding and writing at the same time. They've adapted to store genetics. Each bite.
So that's what I'm talking about, you know? They were still lingering around. And it just seemed like no matter what I did, it was like I did the cucumberises, they were still around. I'm like, damn, I did the soap, burnt my plants, right? But they were still around. I was like, damn. And it's not like I have like a humongous grow. It's tiny as hell, you know? It's for breeding, you know, keeping real close eye on things, right? It's not something where it's like I had something I couldn't really, you know, look and touch. So after that, after we started doing that, we ended up working with the Athena IPM. And I really like the Athena IPM, man, because that Athena IPM was very soft on the plants, you know. I let the plants recover for a little bit. They recovered. They got real nice and green. Everything was good after that, but then I would use Athena. And the Athena, I would notice that they, like, it's almost like the plants liked it. Like it was doing something to it. they would start praying, like almost like they got a good shower, and I would put it all underneath the leaves and stuff like that. And I gotta say, those two things right there really helped out a lot. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had to do something with the cucumberises, right? I know there was 50,000. They were everywhere. Those little suckers were everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere. So they had to eat something up, right? When it comes to larvae or eggs of the thrips and stuff like that. And then I hit them with the soap. Boom. Annihilated everything, probably. And then came back with the Athena. But I'm going to tell you, it still didn't in there. I still seen a few little thrips here and there because you can see them. You can, if you look under every leaf, you'll find them. So what I started doing is I started killing them all, like me personally. Like every one that I saw, I'd inspect every inch of the garden and kill them, me personally, with my hands, like grab them and pow, bitch, pow, bitch, fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So that's what I started doing, and another thing that I did was I pretty much did like a great reset, right? Where I took every plant out, sprayed everything with Athena, everywhere, all on the walls, on the ground, sprayed everything. I grabbed all the leaves and everything, like I strayed back as thin as I could. I mean, just to keep the genetics alive type shit, you know? Took clones, killed off anything that I had. What I had to clone, killed the rest off. The rest of it in the trash. Make sure you out of here. You know what I mean? As soon as you're clipping, trash, out of here. You know what I mean? Thin back as much as I possibly can, where I can like physically inspect every single little leaf. It's like, bitch ass motherfucker. You know, so all of that right there was pretty much how I got rid of them. And I'm still looking through every time if I find one or anything like that, I'm getting them, you know. And then the Athena, it says to use it every once a week, and I'll do that if you don't think you have zero things in issues, right? But I use it every day for a week straight, and the plants loved it. I mean, they the only thing that I did see is the plants develop like this thick structure to them. You know, I've been giving them a little bit of nutrients and stuff like that, so they've been taking the nutrients super well. I've been giving them just irregular strength nutrients, but flower nutrients, you know? Everything in flower. Even the sweets, I've been giving them a little bit of sweet so they can have some sweets too in themselves. Not too much, just a little bit. But that's how I got rid of them, man. Now the plants are nice and healthy. You can tell there's nothing going on with. And you know how I started telling. Excuse me. Got a piece of weed underneath my tongue. Felt weird. You know how I started telling that. You know, my plants always look very bright, very vibrant. No issues. You might get a little tip burn here and there. That's the only thing that I've ever gotten with Botanicare. Just a little tip burn. And to me, that's always been normal. Because it's always done it, right? Just a little tip burn. I noticed that instead of having just a full leaf out there, just the tip is burnt. That's it. A little tip burnt. And that could be probably, you know, not flushing correct. A whole bunch of things. Anyway, not off topic. Trying to get just a good understanding on how to identify how you got the thrips, right? Well, the leaves just look like a small little streak of shiny, right? It almost looks like a shiny streak. It'll be like, so if this is the leaf, it'll be a little shiny streak right there. And then down here, it'll be like another one. And then down here, it'll be another one. So I started seeing these little shiny little streaks. And I'm like, what in the hell is that? And I remember I turned the leaf around and saw my first thrip. And I was like, oh. And by that time, that's when I started. dealing with everything, right? I started dealing with everything. To me, it was the first time I ever dealt with anything like that, you know?
Athena IPM protocols online. Sensors say pressure's climbing. We release the predators, lady beetles, pirate bugs, they get to work. UV runs nightly, sweeping every tray. By morning, the thrips are still here. Under the scope, they're thicker, shiny.
But they was still there, man. Nah, but we we ended up getting rid of them, though. We did end up getting rid of them. That's for sure. We ended up getting rid of them. That's for sure. So we won, man. We won. I want to say we won because they're not here anymore. That's for sure.
All these rows are chewed to the stems, except this one. Not a single bite. Look at those glands. They're shimmering. Whatever it's putting out, the pests won't touch it. If the compound can repel the blight, it might also...
And that's why I think the Athena does, you know? I think the Athena gives it, like, you know, not only it's resilient, it releases everything, it builds like this, immune to it, you know? But that's what you got to do. You got to stay on top of it, man. You got to stay on top of it. Those thrips, man, that's something, because they'll get wild. Because they fly, you know? They go to one leaf to the other, they move around. Once you see the little trail on a leaf, you look, it's not under there no more. That shit's gone. It's gone. It's gone. But we won the war. We won.
It took weeks. The rooms were stripped, reset, reborn, but the genetics survived. Cleaner, stronger, immune. 702 Exotic stands undefeated once again.
That's right, baby. That's right. Yes, sir.
You know me, I don't need no introduction and shit.
It takes grinding to be a king. Takes grinding to be a king.
All right, so we talked about how we got rid of those, right? All right, cool. Let's talk about the drying, man. How do y'all dry? How long do you guys dry for? You know, I typically depends on the day, as far as like if we're in October, right? If we're in July, because I'm at the mercy of the weather, right? So I either dry in here or I dry in other places and stuff like that, but I don't get to pick what temperature I could dry in. So depending on that, that's how I dry, right? Depending on that, I just go off of how I see everything, right? And you got to also remember, every strain is different. I have a strain that I know it molds. It just doesn't have mold resistant to that strain like others. So it depends, right? But if we're talking to someone who doesn't know their strain, if we're talking to someone who you're barely figuring out this strain, right? And you've never ran it before, you've never did anything with this strain before, it's your first time working with this strain, this is what I would do, right? I would get a tent, right? Small little, depending on your grow. But you want to have enough room in the tent where the bud that you're putting in there is going to fill up a humidity level. You want to make the humidity in there. So you fill up your bud in there, however big. So if you're like this, you need to be in a room like this. It can't be too big. So it has to be just right for your harvests. And that's why I do it in separate places. If I have a small harvest, I'll go ahead and do it in my cooler. And it's a cooler where I put holes on the side and I can open up the whole lid. So I'm always checking on it, looking at it, you know, and I can see everything. And I put strings inside of it going back and forth so they can just hang in the cooler. The cooler keeps it sometimes very sealed, but I always have those 2 ventilation holes there. They're drilled to the side. I believe they're about 2-inch holes on the side of the cooler. So it's always got ventilation. And it's crazy because, like, you know, weed, it'll make its pressure, and once it has that pressure, it'll start releasing humidity. So what I like is out of those 2 holes is that once it goes in, and it'll make the humidity, but once it gets that perfect humidity, it'll like stop. But then it'll release out of those 2 holes. The plant will notice there ain't humidity. It'll make more humidity. So that's how it's a constant, you know, it's always releasing humidity out. But like I said, some strains have molded inside that cooler for me because it doesn't have enough airflow. It doesn't have enough mold resistant within the plant, right? So it's not that the cooler, because the cooler gets cleaned out, so it's not that. Well, it could have been that it brought it with it too as well, right? I know a lot of thrips bring that virus that's, you know, has to do with mold, and they believe it's botrytis or something like that. I'm always butchering the word, but it's a word for mold, and those things could be transferred from things to things, and thrips can actually do those type of things. They can bring these viruses and diseases along with them and stuff like that, and mold, you know, along with them. So that's why you got to get rid of those pesky little things too. And as far as drying, that's what I do. I go ahead and do that, and depending on how everything is looking from day to day, because I can always tell from day 1 to day 2 how fast like the smell goes away. Because sometimes like it'll go in there and it'll smell crazy, right, the first time, but then like the smell will kind of go away. Like it means it's just too damp in there. It's like a wet towel when you leave it in the washer too long. You don't take it out. You forget to take it out. The next day it smells like a wet towel, right? It stinks. You could do the same thing with the terpenes, you know. It'll sit in there, and the humidity's too much, won't be enough airflow, and those terpenes will just like gas up and rot. I don't know. And it just turns like a wet towel, and that's where you get a lot of flavor loss right there, a lot of smell loss, you know. So it's got to be a very, very fine line. I'd rather keep it on the drier side. I know the humidity will build. I like to keep it on the drier side. I know people say 60% humidity, but if I don't know this strain or nothing like that, I don't care really about the humidity. I'm just making sure it's dry, like drier, you know. And one more thing that I'm going to tell you about drying too has to do with how your plant grew in the climate that it grew in. Here in Nevada, we're very dry. It's a dry desert. So you got to think the strains that thrive here are on the drier side. So these plants in the DNA makeup of themselves know how to stay in a dry climate, know how to live in dry climates. They know these things. They're built on these things. Not every strain can do that, right? You have like say some that are born like, let's see, in the Afghani mountains, right? And you bring it over here in the desert and it might not do well. I'm not saying that's true, but it's an example, you know, and that's what I mean. But every strain that I've grown and ran here, excuse me. Every strain that I've grown here and ran here in Nevada, you know, I can see plants that just die for no reason. And I'd be like, oh shit, I ain't running them again. You know, so like pretty much my point is that was been working for me and resilient for me is plants that work in dry climates. You know, like if you like Afghani, right? Like you get some Afghani. I'm probably sure that in Afghanistan is probably dry over there too, you know? So that's my point. Those things correlate to when they go into the drying process because you have to know that this plant already can work in the dry. So I noticed that like what I'm running right now, the Trap House 22, it thrives. Like you have to think it thrived in 89 degree weather, almost 90 degree weather, and it was thriving. As long as I kept the leaf temperature cool, the lights were kind of far away, and that's another thing. You got to keep the lights when it's hot. You got to keep them away because it'll burn up your terpenes. Your terpenes will just gone. So that's another thing that you have to think about. Where are you growing these plants? Are you growing it in a very humid area? Because the morphology of that plant is going to transfer over to when you dry it. It's going to know that it's in a humid environment, and the drying process will take, you know, either longer or shorter. Because to me, I noticed that when these plants that are good and acclimate in a drier spot take longer to dry. You know, when you put them in a humid spot, they're just like chilling. And it takes long, and sometimes they mold, you know, because they sit there too long. So that's my point. If you're drying in a drier area, then I had to keep it in the drying space. And that's just me personally. You can work with what you got and try. You have to try these things, but I'll start from 60 and then lower it. If you're noticing that it's taking way too long, you're like, whoa, this is taking way too long, then you know, okay, this permanent marker right here, you know, we gotta hurry up on that drying process. So we gotta lower down the temps. I mean, the humidity. Don't go higher on the temps. If you can keep the temps or lower, that's better. The humidity, you know, drop that. You know, I wouldn't advise higher and more than 60. 60 is ideal, right? You always want to start. That's your starting point is 60 right there. Boom. You want to start off at 60 for sure. Get right there at the baseline of 60. Start right there. Boom, and then you can work your way up or down. You know. So that's pretty much as far as the drying, and how I do it. Once it's pretty much dry, you want to make sure that your stems are popping, right? Because it's layers to it. Let me show you something real quick. This right here wasn't such a great harvest. It was, like I said, it was during the heat. But you want to make sure when you grab them that your stems are popping. See, these are not popping yet. Not popping yet. So typically you're still gonna, I got a little snap of this one, but not popping. You want to make sure they're just snapping. And the reason is because if you don't do that, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna see no pop. It's just, it is crunchy. Some would think it's already dry, but it's not. It's not dry yet. And if you I was on watching somebody's live the other day. Grambo and CLTV was on it there, and he was talking about how there's layers to it. How like there's layers to it, and let me put this away. How there's layers to it. It's like an ogre. He said it's like a ogre. There's layers to the cannabis as it's drying, right? There's the center stem, the very, very center stem of it, and then you have other layers that come out. You'll have like the very top, the pistils, you have the actual bud, and then you have the stem. You know, those things dry in separate stages, you know, so it may look like it's dry, crispy at the very end up here, but it's still very wet in the inside, you know, so you have to let it fully dry all the way to, and usually when the stem, you know, itself cracks, that means that it's fully dry all the way through. And if you do not let it crack, and you're just going to prolong your drying process. The only time that I do recommend to do that is when you need to smoke, right? You don't have a harvest, you're in between harvests, you know, but you're gonna have to keep an eye on it. That's just giving you more of a task, right? Growing is already a task. So now if you clip them and buck your buds before they start snapping, you're just giving yourself more work, because you're gonna put them in jars, clean them up. As you're gonna notice, as you're already starting to clean them up, they're gonna start moistening up already. So you're already pulling that moisture out of them. For some reason, like, you know, that's how weed works. You touch it and it starts to move. It's always like moving. It's always alive. For some reason, it's always alive. Like it just doesn't, it's not alive, but it's like, you know, it's still doing things, you know? So as soon as you buck those plants, they're going to start moistening up, you know? So you don't want to do that until they fully crack, snap, and then you can buck them. Because you'll clean them up a lot easier. When you're trimming them, once you throw them in the jars, that's when you get the best smoke. I did that to these, and I've been taking care of these. This is just, you know, a little bit of smoke in between. And that's what I've been smoking on lately, is those. But yeah, man, that's what we've been doing lately, is battling with the thrips. We've been battling with thrips. We've been cloning the Area 51 because that's the only thing that we're gonna have. We're letting go of the Trap House 22. We're keeping the Trap House original. We're just gonna keep the original, but we got the Trap House 22 already in seed form, so we're gonna pop new seeds of the 22 to find new evolutions of the 22. So the 22 was hella fire, trust me, don't get me wrong, but I know if I stick around with it, I'm gonna get tied to it. And I'm the type of person that, yeah, it's fire, it's okay, yeah, it's really good, but the Area 51 is the best shit that I've ever had, the best genetics I've ever had. So I'm gonna be rocking with those for a little bit. I'm gonna send the area 51 into testing. I want to get it. I want to get the Area 51 in a tissue culture lab, so I can get everything. If it has any viruses, pathogens, or anything like that, we'll get a great reset on that. You know. So I wanna send the Area 51 for culture, tissue culture, and get it back. Anybody got any recommendations on tissue cultures? Let me know. Somebody I could send tissue culture. You guys know any good reputable companies? Let me know. Cause that's what we want to do with the Area 51. Just because, you know, we want to make sure there's nothing with it. Because after the Area 51 gets come back with tissue culture, and that's already out the way, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do a great reset. And what I mean by that is we're gonna kill off everything, a great reset, and start everything from seed again, but off the offsprings, off of everything. The only genetics we're gonna keep is the Area 51. So the Trap House, we're gonna let it go, but we're gonna have offsprings. We're gonna run those. And the reason we do that is because, like I said, we don't want to get tied down to I'm the type of person that moves on, right? So we're gonna work with those genetics, keep moving. Because because of the only one that I can go ahead and say that I would clone or anything, keep cloning, is the Area 51, because that's a very well worked genetic right there. That's a genetic line that's been worked for a very long time, not by me, obviously by the government, right? So that's Area 51. So, and it's all a joke, you know. It's not really from Area 51. Y'all know the story, right? It was a gift. It was a gift. So once we're done with that, we are gonna have that great reset. The Area 51 is gonna get reversed. And we're going to have the seeds of everything from the Area 51. We're going to have Area 51 seeds reversed, Trap House, and the wedding cake. The one that really hurts me to let go is the wedding cake. That is fire. It's a resilient plant, but we're going to grow the offsprings from that. So it's not like it's going to go away for good. We're going to have its offspring. So, hey, but remember, it's a call-in show. The number is up here. Y'all could go ahead and call in. Oh, I don't even have my thing open. So if y'all want to go ahead and call, y'all can call in, man. Y'all can go ahead and call in. Because, see what you guys got going on. See what y'all smoking on. What's the prices in your city? Where you guys getting it from? Yo, I found a spot right around the corner. Right? They letting go... It's a little bit pricey, but it's better than what it is. So they're letting go the half ounces of the grower circle. Everything they got. I think they got the blueberry caviar. I might go get a half a zip of the blueberry caviar, yo. That's some fire. If y'all don't know about that blueberry caviar yet, huh? Let me know in the chat if you know about that blueberry caviar. I don't think y'all well educated up there yet, right? Let me see who really knows their real exotic strains right now. What do y'all consider as an exotic strain right now? Because I've been in facilities and walked around all these facilities, right? And what really caught my eye was that blueberry caviar. And it's out there. It's out there right now. You can go pick that up at, I think Top Notch got it in stock. They got the blueberry caviar right now in stock. And I think that was like $190 though. I think the blueberry caviar was $190. But they got other sales though. But that blueberry caviar, that's $190. Call in right now. Tell me what your prices are. Is it open? Let me see. Are we open? Are we open? Yeah, we're open. Y'all can call in right now. We can talk about it. That blueberry caviar, yo. Whoo. Straight gasolina. That's some straight gas right there. Again, make sure you hit that like button, man. Stop being stingy with that. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to watch another video like this. That's right. What I got going on? We chilling, man. That was pretty much it. What I really wanted to talk about was about the thrips and all that. Now we chilling. We just posted now. I'm going to say we're going to chill here for a little bit, for a little while. If y'all want to call in, the number right there, man. Let's get y'all call. Let's get y'all takes. Let's see what you guys got going on today. What the prices? What's the prices? $150 a zip. I can get $150 a half a zip for the grower circle at another spot too. But that's called Wall of Flower here in Vegas. It's actually in Henderson. It's called Wall of Flower, and they got it for like $190. $150. My bad. $150. But I get it for a little bit less because I'm medical, so I get it for a little bit less. I think they said that it's $150 is with the tax, so you can go out the door without the tax. I don't know, but $150 is with tax, so that's what you're gonna pay as a regular patient. If you don't have your medical, then you're gonna pay $150. You're gonna pay $150, and they have hella grower circle flour. They're like half ounces. The eighths are expensive. I ain't gonna lie, the eighths are expensive. I'd rather get a half ounce. I think the eighths are like $50-$60, but the half ounce is $150. And then I think their full zip is $280. But y'all gonna roast me in the comments and be like, I can get it for $100. I can get it for this. I could get it for that. Hell yeah, you could. But can you do it at 3 a.m.? Can you do it at 2 in the morning? Can you do it at any time of the day? You ain't got to wait. You ain't got to do nothing. You pull up and you know where it's coming from. You know it's going to be fire. You know it's going to be on time, every time, all the time. All the time. Every time. Every time. And you got to remember, man, that's a whole half ounce you putting in your lungs. I don't think nobody buying a half ounce, breaking it down to go sell it, right? So that's a whole half a zip that you putting in your lungs. You know what I mean? You don't want to buy no regular weed, bro. You wanna put some you want to put some fire in your lungs, or grow it. I'm about to start trimming in a little bit. Or just bucking, that's what I'm gonna do. But when I don't, I'll go get me a half ounce of that, some of that grower circle. You know what I mean? And they're everywhere too. They're everywhere in Vegas. You could just go on Weed Maps and check. Damn, I hope I don't get a strike for that, bruh. Man, that's why I got a strike for last time. I was down for a whole goddamn month, man. I'm sorry, YouTube, man. I don't be thinking sometimes, man. But yeah, I didn't taught y'all too many things today, man. I done taught y'all a lot, and you still ain't calling in. Y'all need to call in, man. Mess with your boy. Want to get a soundbite too. Gonna get a soundbite from your mans. We need to get a soundbite from your mans. From your mans, that guy who used to say real trap shit, right? We need to get a soundbite by him. You can get it too. He's around. I think he charged like $75 and shit. And we get a soundbite from him. What should he say? Right? He should say some shit like, "The trap house is now open." Right? Some shit like that. That'll be tight, right? Or seven. Let me see. What could we say? Some 702 exotic shit. Right? Hey.
Creep on in. Creep on in, on in. Man knows how to drop the Man knows how to drop the Man knows how to drop the
R.I.P. So Cool.
Man knows how to drop the Man knows how to drop the Man knows how to drop the
Yeah, man. We gonna end it right there, man. Y'all have a good day.